We now come to the sixth Ashtapadi and the sixth Slok preceding the sixth Ashtapadi. काम क्रोध और लोभ मोह बिन से जाए अहमेव, नानक प्रभ शरणागति कर प्रसाद गुरुदेव. काम क्रोध और लोभ मोह बिन से जाए अहमेव. Guru Nanak supplicates before the Almighty to destroy, or rather to control, or rather to eradicate all feelings of lust, wrath, anger, loभ, greed, avarice, and any kind of worldly attachment, pride and ego. Nanak prab sharanagati kar prasad Gurudev. He also asks for the benign grace and the protection of the Lord so that all these vices may be controlled or may be eradicated by his blessing and by the virtue of a true Guru. Over here, one must remember Kam, Krodh or Lobh, Moh. Please refer to the 5 vices, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. These are there in every human being, without which it is not possible for any human being to function. But if their proportions become enlarged, they can destroy. Lust, if there is no lust, if there is no sex, there will be no reproduction. If there is no wrath, if there is no anger, there will be no dharma yuddhs, there will be no fights for the cause of justice. If you don't have sufficient amount of greed, you will not be able to earn your livelihood. As for earning livelihood, you have to earn money. And if you don't have more, you will not have any affection for your people. If you don't have self-respect, then you will be treated badly. But when these aspects become improportionate, when you look at lust with a joy, with a sense of enjoyment, with a sense of sensational pleasure, with a sense of sensual pleasure, then it is a sin. If you look at anger, if you get unnecessarily angry at the spur of the moment, you get flared up and do things only with a view to satiate your ego, you're increasing your anger, you're also increasing your ego. And similarly, if you go beyond a certain point to earn money and just earn money, then you will again be greedy and try to do all the wrong things. And if you have more than necessary love and affection for your family members, then you will stay attached. You will stay attached and you will do wrong things for them also. So the proportions have to be managed. It's a matter of proportion. The Bhagavad Gita shows 5 horses. These 5 horses have to be reined. They will exist because it is your Prakriti. They will exist. The Paurush, as I had said earlier, is the Shiva. The Shiva is the Vaheguru. Vaheguru, the Akal Purakh, the cosmic energy, which resulted in the Big Bang and the creation. When man was created, he was created with all these elements. And these things are to remain. But they have to be in adequate proportion. The proportion is so very, very delicate that if 1% or maybe a proportion of greed goes up, it has its effects on all the other 4 vices. So, the idea behind true spirituality in a worldly life is to have these vices under control by having them under proportion. This is the true meaning. And this is done by the guidance of the Guru. To what proportion greed is permitted, to what proportion honor is permitted, to what proportion fights might be permitted, to what proportion and for what cause certain things are permitted. Ashtapadi 6, the cantotek 6 charts. Je prasad chati amrit khaye, tis thakur ko rakh manmaye. By the grace of whom you have various kinds of delicacies, various kinds of foods. In the olden days, there used to be 36 kind of food, so that's the reason why the word 36, it signifies various kind of foods that you have. Please remember that Almighty who has given you the pleasure of having these things, of having this food, for enjoying the taste, for having the variety. Ji prasad chati amrit khai, tis thakur ko rakh manmahe. Always contemplate on that thakur, on that God who has given you these things. जी प्रसाद सुगंध तन लावे तिसको सिमरन परम गत पावे. One may note that the poor, the downtrodden, sometimes don't even have the pleasure of having bath. Forget the good soap and the good scent and the good aroma. And if the Almighty has given you that soap, that aroma, that pleasureful bath, the blessing of being and having a scented body, putting talcum powder, please remember Him who has given you all this. Tisko simrat param gat pave. And by contemplating on Him, you shall slowly and steadily attain the supreme state. Jib saat base sukh mandar, tise dhyaye sada man andar. With the blessing of whom you have a good house to stay, kindly meditate, concentrate, contemplate on Him. जी प्रसाद ग्रह संग सुख बसना, आड़ पैर सिमरो तिस रसना. With the blessing of whom you live with a good family, you live with a good wife, good children, or with your relations, kindly remember and contemplate on Him. जी प्रसाद ग्रह संग सुख बसना, आड़ पैर सिमरो तिस रसना. आड़ पैर in Hindus as well as in the Vedas, the time of the day is divided into 8 pairs. Just like we have in English terminology, morning, afternoon, evening and night. The 4 parts of English terminology of time, the English classification of time, is further divided into 2 more parts as per Hindu terminology. So, what it means is that every time throughout the day, please remember Him. 4 pairs belong to the day and 4 pairs belong to the night. And the time division is such that the first pair starts very early in the morning, at dawn, at around 3:45 or 4 o'clock. Then the second pair, then the third pair, and the fourth pair. And similarly, the night also is divided into similar fashion after the sunset. जी प्रसाद रंग रस भोग, नानक सदा त्याये त्यावन जोग. By the grace of whom you enjoy love, you enjoy happiness, you enjoy conveniences, always meditate on that Almighty, always contemplate Him. जी प्रसाद पाठ पटंबर हडावे, तिसे त्याग कत अवर लुभावे. Contemplate on Him, the Almighty, the all-pervading Vaheguru, the all-pervading Allah, the all-pervading Bhagwan, Ishwar, God, cosmic force, or whatever you name you call it by whose grace you wear expensive clothing. In those days, silk was regarded as expensive clothing, but today many other wares, denims, various kinds of pure cotton shirts, printed embroidered shalwar kameezes. You have the capacity to wear them because of that force. Allah, God, Bhagwan. And why do you forget Him? And why do you start loving others and stay attached to others and thank others and not Him who has given you all this? Ji prasad sukh seth soije, man aad pair taka jas gavije. With whose blessing you enjoy a comfortable sleep, you enjoy a good bed. Sing His praises. Sing His praises day and night. Man aad pair taka just gavije. That's why I said sing His praises. Just gavi. Gavi refers to sing. Ji prasad tuj sabko maane, mukta ko jas rasan bakhane. By the grace of whom you are honored, by the grace of whom you are honored, you are respected in the society. People look upon with you with respect. Remember Him, recite His name, remember Him, contemplate Him in every breath. Jib sa tero rehta dharm, man sadya tyaye keval parbrahm. With the grace of whom you enjoy a religion, with the grace of whom you enjoy your faith, always meditate upon His name, the Parbrahm, the Paramatma, the cosmic force, the Parvardigar, the Allah, the Bhagwan, the Akal Purakh. Prabji base, Prabji japat terge maan paave, Nanak pat seti ghar jave. By the contemplation of whom you will honor, you will get honor, you will get respect. And finally, after you have submerged yourself into Him, you will go to the true abode from where you came. So, you have to become one with Him by continuously contemplating Him. I will divulge upon the scientific aspects a little later, probably when we come to the cant octet 20 and 21. I will go to the theory of the Big Bang and I will explain to it scientifically. I will make an attempt to explain to it scientifically with the blessing of Vaheguru Akal Purakh, with the blessing of that cosmic force, as to how scientifically it can be proved that a person can attain mukti through becoming timeless, through becoming one with God. Akal refers to being timeless. I will also refer to some of the foreign authors who have written and made some recent researches on this. But that is for the following Ashtapadis. Ji prasad aro kanchan dehi, live lao tis ram snehi. By the grace of whom you have a healthy body, always stay devoted to the name of that Almighty. Ji prasad tera ola rahat, man sukh pave har har jas kahat. With the grace of whom many of your secrets, many of the wrong deeds that you have done, many of the things you want and wish to remain a secret, kindly recite the name of the Almighty and let it remain a secret. Jib saat tere sagal chidra dake, man sharani prapakur praptake. With the grace of whom all your faults remain concealed, they are not shown to the world. They are not shown to many things, specifically in the case of the field of law. Many times the clients commit fault, but that fault the Almighty chooses not to reveal to the judge. Similarly, there may be many such situations. So, Nanak says that it is the conscious mind which should always contemplate the name of God, which has protected him from becoming unconcealed to others. Ji prasad tujhko na pahunche, man saas saas se mruh par pahunche. There are many places where you are the best and nobody equals you. So, the grace of who has bestowed you with this prestigious unequal situation, kindly remember that Almighty. जी प्रसाद पाई दुर्लभ देह नानिकता की भक्त करे. With the grace of whom you have obtained this precious body. Today I was reading a book and some theories as to how man has come into being. The human body, there are 2 or 3 theories, but those theories, which is the proper theory, would remain unrevealed to mankind. The first words of the Guru Granth Sahib and Guru Nanak, socha soch na hovai jai sochi lakhwar. It's unthinkable. You cannot think about it. You may only speculate on the options and the best probabilities that may be made available to you. Some say man was previously a monkey. Some say man was born a man. Some say it is an evolutionary process, though science says it is an evolutionary process. However, one may note that the human body is not only a matter of mass. If it was a matter of mass, you wouldn't have life, you wouldn't have sensation, you wouldn't have brains, you wouldn't have a nervous system, you wouldn't have memory. So, man is made of mass as well as energy. When a person dies, the mass is discarded but the energy remains. And this energy tries to find mass. And depending on the state of the mind, it goes and searches for the body. This can be also proved scientifically. So the moment your mind is attached to the Almighty, you either become one with the Almighty or may probably get the body of a human being. But if you do not, if you have baseless thinkings, if you have wrong thinkings, then automatically the energy level at which you are will search a body equivalent to that energy and you will be born in that form. Or probably you may not be born at all. You may have to wander. You may have to become more pure for getting a form. Alright, so the theory of rebirth is partly true and partly it is deferred. Islamic people say that the ruh remains, the spirit remains. Khorshid Bhavnagri, in her book Laws of the Spirit World, as well as a number of Christian missionaries, even very educated Muslims have made a lot of theoretical research into it, though Guru Nanak and Sri Krishna said it years ago. The man may not get the body immediately. After he discards the body, there are levels and realms. If you are bad, you may not be worthy of getting a body at all. Your work is so base. So you go to the fire. You go to a place where all such beings are there. The energy level itself takes you over there. The energy remains over there. It is not you, it is the energy which goes over there and which suffers. It suffers in a bodiless state. Finally, for years and years, when it gets purer and purer, it elevates and may get a human form. This is a very detailed theory. I recommend the book of Laws of the Spirit World. Go into the theory. Guru Granth Sahib, in the words of Bhagat Trilochan, also says, as I had said earlier, the Guru Granth Sahib is comprising of a number of saints' words also in addition to the Sikh Gurus. So, over here, what it says is, by whose grace you have obtained your precious body. The Guru Granth Sahib also says, I think it is at page 763 of the Guru Granth Sahib, Ang 763 of the Guru Granth Sahib. हाँ आया दूरों चल के मैं तक्की तो शरणाई जियो मैं आशा रखी चित में मेरा सबो दुख गवाए जियो. हाँ आया दूरों चल के refers to I have taken a lot of time to get this precious body and it is precious because it has not been got with ease. नानक ताकि भक्त करे जी प्रसाद पाई दुर्लभ दे with the blessing of whom I have got this body, may the Lord Almighty make me worship Him. जी प्रसाद आभूखंड पहिरीजे मंत्र सिमरत क्यों आलस कीजिए. With the grace of whom you wear ornaments, with the grace of you have superfluous things. Why do you become so lazy when it comes to remembering the Almighty? जी प्रसाद अश्व हस्ती अस्वारी मंत्र प्रभ को कबू न बिसारी. With the grace of whom you have vehicles. In the olden days they used to use horses and animals, elephants, and various other ways, chariots, and now we have cars, motorcycles, bicycles, cars of various models. With the grace of whom you enjoy all this, do not forget that power, that God, who has given you and conferred with you all these blessings. जीव साथ बाग मिलक दना राख प्रोही प्रभ अपने मना. With the grace of whom you have got the good fortune of getting wealth, do not forget that Almighty. जिन तेरी मन बनत बनाई उठत बैठत सत्य से त्याई. He who has given you everything, your entire framework, your entire surroundings, your entire circumstances have been made by Him. Do not forget Him. तिसे त्याई जो एक अलख है यह वह नानक तेरी रखे. Contemplate on that power which is omnipotent and which is infinite, which is Allah, which is Beyant, which is Akal, which cannot be seen, which is invisible, which is timeless. Iha uha nanak teri rakhe. It is He and only He, it is that cosmic force, He or She or whatever you may call it by, which will give you and protect you in this world, also in the next world, in the next journeys to come. It is that name, it is that power, it is that Shakti, it is that Simran, it is the sadhana, it is the contemplation that you have on Him, which will always remain with you and which will be your savior. जी प्रसाद करे पूर्ण भवदान मन आड़ पैर कर तिसका ध्यान. It is with His blessing only that you have the power to donate. And you don't beg, you donate. It is because that role has been assigned by you, by the power to you. Do not forget Him. जी प्रसाद तू आचार व्यवहारी तिस प्रभ को सास सास चितारी. With the grace of whom you do all your religious duties, do not forget that Almighty. जी प्रसाद तेरा सुंदर रूप सो प्रभ स्मरो सदा अनूप. With the grace of whom you look beautiful or handsome, do not forget Him. जी प्रसाद तेरी नीकी जात सो प्रभ स्मरो सदा दिन रात. If you have been placed in a high caste, if you have been placed in a noble species of the human race, if you have been given any noble place or position, please contemplate on that force which has given you the same. जी प्रसाद तेरी पत रहे गुरु प्रसाद नानक जस कहे. With the grace of whom you have maintained your respect, with the grace of who has protected you from any kind of defamation, utter the name of that Almighty, utter the name of that Guru, utter the name of that messenger of God who has given you that thing, utter the name of God. जी प्रसाद सुने कर्णनाद जी प्रसाद पेखे बिस्माद. With the grace of whom you hear celestial and divine music or various kinds of music, and with the grace of whom you see the wonders of the world and the wonders of His creation, remember Him. जी प्रसाद बोले अमृत रसना जी प्रसाद सुख सहजे बसना. With the grace of whom you utter words, who has given you tongue, who has given you a tongue to utter words, and with the grace of whom you live in peace and comfort, please think of Him. Please think of Him. Please contemplate Him. जी प्रसाद हसत कर चले जी प्रसाद संपूर्ण फले. With the grace of whom your hands and arms and your physical body works, with the grace of whom you are progressing, with the grace of whom you are flowering, you are blooming, you are progressing, always contemplate on Him. जी प्रसाद परम गत पावे तिसको जी प्रसाद सुख सहज समावे. जी प्रसाद परम गत पावे, जी प्रसाद सुख सहज समावे. With the grace of whom you attain the Almighty and remain in a state of bliss, with the grace of whom you become happy in His bliss and attain peace and happiness, please think of Him. ऐसा प्रभ त्याग अवर कत लागो, गुरु प्रसाद नानक पंजागो. Why do you forget Him? Why do you attach yourself to other things? Guru Nanak says, with the grace of the Guru, with the grace of our spiritual master, awaken your mind, become Jagrat. Don't go into a slumber of materiality. Awaken your mind and remember the Almighty. जीव साथ तु प्रगट संसार, तिस प्रभ को मूल न मनो बिसार. जी प्रसाद तु प्रगट संसार. There are two meanings to this. One is the blessing of whom, with the blessing of whom you have attained the human form and have come to the world. And the other meaning is, with the blessing of whom you have become known to the world, you become famous in the world. Do not forget that Almighty. जीव साथ तेरा प्रताप, रेमण मूर्त ताको जाप. With the grace of whom you have become glorious, you have attained fame. Oh, don't become so ignorant. Don't become so very proud that you stop reciting the name of God. Remember His name, as He has given you the fame. जीव साथ तेरे कारज पूरे, तिसे जान मन सदा हजूरे. With the grace of whom you have attained your goal, you have attained your targets, you have finished your work, contemplate on Him, remember Him. जीव साथ तु पावे साच, रेमण मूर्त तासु राज. With the grace of whom you have found the truth of the Almighty, because this is not revealed to everybody. O mind, please attach, not attach, please attach yourself to Him. जीव साथ सबकी गत होए, नानक जाप जपे सब जप सोए. With the grace of whom you have mobilized your energy towards salvation. Oh, my mind, oh, my conscious mind, please stay meditated on the name of the Almighty, on the name of the omnipotent Almighty. आप जपाए जपे सो नाव, आप गवाए सो हर गुण गाओ. It is only with the grace of the Almighty that you have acquired the inspiration to contemplate His name, that you have acquired the inspiration to sing His name. Prabh kripate hoye prakas, Prabhu dayate kamal vikas. With the grace of the Almighty, you have become illuminated in your knowledge. And it is with the grace of the Almighty that your mind flowers like a lotus flower, very big and beautiful lotus flower, which blooms in the muck, and the muck refers to the fire of the material world. So the mind of the material world, when absorbed in the Almighty, is compared to a lotus flower which blooms in muck, which though in muck also blooms, which means that though you are in material world, you have the capacity with the Almighty's blessing to bloom into the spirituality also. Prabh suprasan base man soe, prabh dayate mat utam hoye. When the Almighty is pleased, only then He blesses His subjects, His devotees, so that they may get absorbed in Him. The Bhagavad Gita, remember, had said, सब मुझ में है, मैं सब में नहीं. Which means that all are in the Almighty, but the Almighty is not in everybody, and with whom He should be, He decides. Though He is with everybody, but the idea of contemplation, the idea of awakening in that person will arise only when the Almighty wishes so. Prabh dayate mat utam hoye. Only when it is the Almighty's wish, when it is His mercy, He will be kind enough to give the man an intellect to become pure, to become one with him. Sarab Nadan Prapteri Maya, Apu Kachu Nakkinu Laya. In the Almighty's grace lie all the treasures, lie all the revelations, lie all the mysteries, lie all the true wealth. Apu Kachu Nakkinu Laya. No one by his own work can ever achieve anything if it is not without the Almighty's grace. What is God from Him. मैं लाया ही क्या था कि जो मैं गंवाने का अफसोस करो. Which means that you have not got anything that when you lose you should be regretting. And when you get anything by the Almighty's grace. Jit jit lao tit lagi harinath, nanak inke kachu nahat. Oh, the Almighty, all the men, all the beings on the earth, as well as all over in the entire universe, work according to your will. Oh my Lord, Guru Nanak says, oh my Lord, nothing is in the hands of creatures. Everything functions according to divine ordinance. With this, we complete the cantotic the sixth Slok and the sixth Ashtapadi.